bright blue and green colors that shined like jewels in the sunlight. When he spread his magnificent tail, it looked like 1,000 eyes were watching the world. But Sunu was not happy. Despite his beauty, he felt empty inside. Every morning, he would look at his reflection in the clear pond water, spread his tail, and sigh deeply. "What is the point of all this beauty?" he would ask himself. "Why was I born with such magnificent feathers?" One day, Sunu decided to visit the wise old owl who lived in the tallest tree of the forest. The owl was known for his wisdom and had helped many animals find answers to their difficult questions. "Wise owl," Sunu said with sadness in his voice, "I have the most beautiful feathers in the entire forest, but I do not understand why. What is my purpose?" The old owl looked at Sunu for a long moment and said something unexpected. "Young peacock, I will not give you the answer you seek. The answers I give to others are forgotten quickly, but the answers you find yourself will stay in your heart forever. I will tell you this much: your purpose is hidden in your pain. Go and find what hurts your heart the most. There you will discover why you were born." Sunu felt angry and disappointed. He had expected clear answers, not riddles. Frustrated and confused, he decided to leave the forest. "Maybe my purpose is somewhere else," he thought. He walked for days until he reached a small village at the edge of the forest. The village was different from anything Sunu had ever seen. As he walked through the dusty streets, he noticed that all the children looked sad. Their clothes were torn, their faces were dirty, and their eyes had no spark of life. Sunu approached an old woman sitting outside her house. "Why are the children so sad?" he asked. The old woman sighed deeply. "Our village has suffered greatly. We lost our crops to drought, and many families have no food. The children have forgotten what it means to laugh and play. They work all day helping their parents, and they have lost their childhood. We have nothing beautiful left in our lives, only struggle and hardship." Sunu's heart felt heavy. He looked at a little girl sitting alone in the corner, thin and weak, with tears rolling down her cheeks. Something inside Sunu broke. For the first time in his life, he forgot about his own emptiness. All he could think about was the pain of these innocent children. Without thinking, Sunu walked to the center of the village and spread his magnificent tail. The sunlight caught his feathers, and they began to shimmer with brilliant blues, greens, and golds. The children stopped what they were doing. They had never seen anything so beautiful in their entire lives. One by one, they came closer. Their sad eyes began to sparkle with wonder. Sunu started to dance, moving gracefully, his tail creating waves of color that seemed to paint the air with magic. For a few precious moments, the children forgot their hunger and pain. They smiled, they laughed, they clapped their hands with joy. But then something unexpected happened. As Sunu danced, his feathers began to lose their brightness. He danced harder, trying to keep the children happy, but his colors started to fade. The children gasped in worry. "What is happening to you?" the little girl asked with concern. Sunu stopped dancing. He looked at his tail and saw that his beautiful feathers had become dull and pale. "I do not know," he said quietly. "My beauty is leaving me." The old woman came forward and gently touched Sunu's head. "Dear peacock, beauty that is only on the outside will always fade. It is like a flower that blooms for one day and then dies. You have given us a moment of joy, but now you have lost yourself." Sunu's heart filled with despair. He had finally found something that made him feel useful, but now even that was taken away. That night, he could not sleep. He thought about everything that had happened. He remembered the owl's words. "Your purpose is hidden in your pain." Now he understood what pain the owl meant. It was not his own emptiness, but the pain he felt when he saw others suffering. But he also realized that beauty alone was not enough. He needed something more. As the sun rose the next morning, Sunu heard singing. He opened his eyes and saw the children gathering in the village center, singing a simple song. The little girl who had cried yesterday was teaching the younger children how to make patterns in the sand with sticks. "What are you doing?" Sunu asked. The little girl smiled at him. "Yesterday you showed us beauty. Today we are creating our own. You taught us that even in sadness we can find moments of joy. Even without food, we can still sing. Even in darkness, we can still make art." Sunu's heart began to beat faster. Suddenly, he understood everything. His purpose was not just to show beauty with his feathers. His purpose was to inspire others to find and create beauty within themselves. The true gift was not his colorful tail, but the hope and creativity he awakened in others. At that moment, something magical happened. Sunu's feathers began to glow again, but this time the colors were brighter and deeper than ever before. The glow was not coming from his feathers alone. It was coming from his heart. The old woman approached him with tears of joy. "Now you understand. True beauty comes from a heart that loves and serves others. Your feathers were always just a tool. Your real gift is your ability to touch hearts and change lives." From that day forward, Sunu stayed in the village. He danced for the children every morning. But he also did more. He taught them to find beauty in simple things, to make art from stones and leaves, and told them stories that filled their minds with hope and dreams. Slowly, the village began to transform. The children became creative and strong, bringing new ideas to help their families. They painted walls with colorful mud and planted flowers in empty spaces. The entire village became filled with color and life, not because of Sunu's feathers, but because of the spirit he had awakened in the people. One day, the wise old owl came to visit. "I see you have found your answer," he said with a knowing smile. "Yes," Sunu replied. "I learned that purpose is not about what we look like or what gifts we have. It is about how we use those gifts to awaken the light in others." The owl nodded. "You have learned well. I did not give you the answer, because you needed to walk through the darkness to find your own light. The pain you felt when you saw the suffering children opened your heart. And when your heart opened, you discovered your true purpose." Sunu understood now why the owl had spoken in riddles. Some lessons cannot be taught. They must be lived and felt deeply. And so, the peacock who once felt worthless became a symbol of hope, not because of his beauty alone, but because he learned that true purpose is found when we use our gifts to light up the darkness in others' lives, helping them discover that they too carry beauty within themselves.